streets. We don't need Donald Trump to tell us about a racial barrier or a wall. We live it and we're standing on it right now. For decades, 8 Mile has been that racial barrier between Detroit and the suburban communities. And we are saying no more. We will continue to take to the streets. We will continue to shut down 8 Mile, shut down the businesses. We will continue to call out the police. We will continue to call out the leaderships of these communities. That if you do not make a change, if you do not make a change, if you do not make the changes that we want to see, we will not continue to be peaceful on 8 Mile. My name is Nicholas and I'm with Michigan Liberation. Peace and love.
Thank you. Next is Azikiwe Wallace. She's the founder and organizer of Detroit Will Breathe.
All right.
Go ahead.
Hi everybody. First I just want to thank Moratorium Now Coalition for having us out here and for organizing this billboard. So the first thing, it's not lost on us what is happening right now in this country and the ways in which, in a lot of ways, Detroit has been turned into a battleground of sorts. And so 8 Mile and all of the other, my name is Azikiwe Wallace, I'm with Detroit Will Breathe. 8 Mile and all of the other borders that we have seen historically, heavy policing, it's been an attempt to silence and really beat in order the resistance and the resilience and the sorts of black pride and black strength that lives within this city. This heavy policing, the attacks on black and brown people, not only on the border of 8 Mile, but throughout the city in general, is an attempt to repress the strong history of fight back that has lived in this city. It's an attempt to get us in line so that moments like this one, moments where our livelihood is being attacked, moments where there's a serious and very real threat to democracy and to freedom as we know it, all those years of policing us, of heavily getting us in line, but so that when this moment came, we wouldn't fight back in the ways that we're doing right now. That's the function of that heavy policing, is to keep us in line, is to keep us in order, is to make sure that if a moment came, any moment came where we had an opportunity to build a strong and dynamic movement to win our true liberation, that we would be too afraid to do it, that we would be too beat down to do it. But what they didn't account for was the fact that we're not giving up our freedom. We're not handing it over. And so over 160 days, we've been in these streets and we've been enthralled in a fight for what the future is going to look like for black and brown people, for what the future is going to look like in the city of Detroit, what the future is going to look like in this country. And so this billboard is a visual representation. It's a visual representation. It's another way we amplify our voices. It's another way that we refuse to be silent. It goes hand in hand with the movement that we've been able to build. It goes hand in hand with the fight that we're in right now. And so, thank you to Moratorium Now. Thank you to anybody who had a hand in this billboard. I think that it's wonderful. We've already seen people honking and people in amazement, people stopping and asking, oh my God, who is this? Where is this? Because for far too long, the over-policing, and it's not just the representation of over-policing, but what it means to be a black person outside of the city of Detroit, to simply step outside of the city of Detroit, is to be in danger, is to be at risk of losing something, of harassment, of racial terrorism, of violence, of police repression. That's what it means to step outside of these borders. And for far too long, there has been silence on that issue. For far too long, the only people that have been calling it out have been us. And I don't truly expect that to change, except for the fact that we're getting louder. Except for the fact that we are now making space where there wasn't space for us. Except for the fact that now we're kicking in doors. We're kicking in doors. And we're not leaving till we get freedom. We're not leaving until we get freedom. Thank you.